Change the world in history right here where we're from. It's no beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I appreciate that.
Alrighty then, you know what time it is. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, of course, and this is Decisions. We call it that because everything in life is predicated on the decisions that we make in life. And even when we try not to make a decision, for good or bad, you still make one. So why not take some time and make a better one? Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this, hey, it's time to rise and shine. Believe it or not, it is the 30th day of October 2025. It is a day that has never been. And believe it or not, it is a day that won't ever come again. It is a once in a lifetime deal. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and undo all the things that you do today. And more importantly, you don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, October the 30th, 2025, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day. It is another day above ground, one in where the ground is not above you. I'd say that's a lot to be thankful for. So before you get this day started, give thanks to the Creator who made it all possible. Good morning to you. It is time for our daily bread. And when we come back, man, I can't play the Armed Forces song anymore. They keep dinging me. I don't know why they keep dinging me. Facebook keeps dinging me. And so I guess I got to get some permission to play the song that talks about people like me. You know, all of us who wore the uniform. I guess I don't hold no weight tomorrow. So they're sticking the meat to me, but that's okay. I'll still play something, a message today, which is to be kind. Something we all could do a little bit more of, and something. And right now with the SNAP program, all we're gonna have to do a little more, I guess. Yeah, because we may have to feed some people. And we're gonna talk about that a little bit more today too, and some of the hyperbole that's going on about it. But right now, our daily bread, it's what's up on the menu next. And we'll be back in a few minutes, hopefully. So you guys hang loose. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, at least not this early in the morning. Anyway, okay? So, we shall return.
Our lives are better off in God's hands than in our own. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading is titled Lord of the Moment, and it was written by James Banks. Not long ago, I was working on a construction project at my son's home 3 hours away. The job took days longer than expected, and each morning I prayed we would finish by sunset. But every evening, there was more to be done. I wondered why. Could there be a reason for the delay? An answer came the next morning. I was picking up a tool when my phone rang and a stranger's voice spoke urgently. Your daughter was injured in an accident. You need to come immediately. She lived near my son, so it took just 14 minutes to reach her. If I had been home, I would have been 3 hours away. I followed the ambulance to the hospital and comforted her before surgery. As I sat holding her hand, I realized if my project hadn't been delayed, I wouldn't have been there. Our moments belong to God. This was the experience of a woman whose son God had resurrected through the prophet Elisha in 2 Kings chapter 4. She left the country because of famine and returned years later to beg the king for her land. At precisely that moment, the king was conversing with the prophet's servant Gehazi. Just as Gehazi was telling the king how Elisha had restored her son, the woman walked in. Her request was granted. We don't know what even the next second brings, but God is graciously able to use any situation for good. May God give us grace to walk with Him expectantly into His appointments for us today. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 2 Kings chapter 8, verses 1 through 6. Now Elisha had said to the woman whose son he had restored to life, "Go away with your family and stay for a while wherever you can, because the Lord has decreed a famine in the land that will last 7 years." The woman proceeded to do as the man of God said. She and her family went away and stayed in the land of the Philistines 7 years. At the end of the 7 years, she came back from the land of the Philistines and went to appeal to the king for her house and land. The king was talking to Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, and had said, "Tell me about all the great things Elisha has done." Just as Gehazi was telling the king how Elisha had restored the dead to life, the woman whose son Elisha had brought back to life came to appeal to the king for her house and land. Gehazi said, "This is the woman, my lord the king, and this is her son whom Elisha restored to life." The king asked the woman about it, and she told him. Then he assigned an official to her case and said to him, "Give back everything that belonged to her, including all the income from her land from the day she left the country until now." Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of life. Help us to be your faithful servants and to follow you closely today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, then. Good morning to you. Okay.
Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
I got you. Now, I don't get to play the Armed Forces song today because Facebook keeps dinging me for playing it, saying that I'm the owner of the music or whatever is complaining. They ain't complaining. But anyway, we'll figure that out next week. We'll get us something else to play. Okay, I'll come up with my own Armed Forces thing or something like that. That way they can't say that I'm stealing it from anybody. I'm not stealing it from anybody. But you would think that they're talking about people like me and others and millions of other guys and women who serve this nation. You think brother be able to play it, but that's okay. I'm gonna see if I can do it again. But we'll figure something else out next week. I know what I do. I'm gonna get AI to compose me a song about the armed forces. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, yeah, and let them tell me then I'm breaching somebody's whatever it is I'm doing. Anyway, good morning, Andra Jackson. How you doing this morning? Hope this day finds you well. Anyway, so now our message for the morning is to be kind. Because you know what? There are a lot of things we can get too much of. We can get too many pats on the back. We can drink too much water. We can eat too much food. We can be mad too much. We can even be overly happy, elated too much. But the one thing we cannot do without, and the one thing we never get too much of because we're human beings and we are prone to open our mouths at the wrong time, like me, and things of that nature. The one thing we can never have too much of, and that's the kindness of others. And during this time of year, most of the time we start to get into that mood. I wish we could take the attitudes of people between Thanksgiving and Christmas and the first of the year and open a bottle and let a little bit of that out each month. But we can't do that. So I'm glad it's getting about that time of the year. At least everybody becomes, at least for a little while, everybody becomes on one accord. So that's good. Kind of like if Alabama's in the national championship, even Auburn fans go for them. So I'm good. Anyway, so this is called Be Kind. Then we'll come back to some things of today, a little bit about the SNAP program. Something KK Middleton, local pastor KK Middleton, put on the Facebook page, and I think it was interesting. Also, Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award. We're gonna try to do that again. That starts next week, where we collect money to help people during Christmas and during Christmas, stuff like that. But it's an unusual type of charity. If you never heard about it, it's a little bit different than most charities and stuff like that. But I'll tell you a little bit about that. But right now, to be kind is what we want to do. So listen to this. This ought to bless your soul and bless your heart. And maybe, just maybe, today when you have an opportunity, you'll reach out and be kind to somebody because you heard this, okay? It always changes my mind. It always motivates me to do something every time I hear this, okay? Although we should do this when we don't hear it too, but hey, what can I tell you? The days are long sometimes. So anyway, so enjoy this, and we'll be back.
I want to focus on that wonderful concept, that vital virtue that unfortunately and regrettably is often forgotten, the virtue of kindness, being kind. I want you to hear a story. 20 years ago, I drove a cab for a living. When I arrived at 2:30 in the morning, the building was dark except for a single light in a ground floor window. Under these circumstances, many cab drivers would just honk once or twice, wait a minute, then drive away. But I had seen too many impoverished people who depended on taxis as their only means of transportation to drive away. Unless the situation smelled of danger, I always went to the door. So I walked to the door and knocked. Just a moment, answered a frail, elderly voice. After a long pause, the door opened. A small woman in her 80s stood before me. By her side was a small nylon suitcase. "Would you carry this bag out to the car for me?" she said. I took the suitcase out and returned to assist the woman. She took my arm and walked slowly toward the curb. She kept thanking me for my kindness. Oh, it's nothing, I told her. I just try to treat all my passengers the way I would want my mother treated. When we got in the cab, she gave me an address. Then she said, "Oh, by the way, could you drive through downtown? It's not the shortest way." "Oh, I don't mind. I'm in no hurry. I'm on my way to a hospice." I looked in the rearview mirror and her eyes were glistening. I don't have any family left," she said, almost to herself. "The doctor says I don't have very long." I quietly reached over and shut off the meter. "What route would you like me to take?" For the next 2 hours, we drove all around the city. She showed me the building where she had once worked as an elevator operator. We drove through the neighborhood where she and her husband had lived when they were newlyweds. She had me pull up in front of a furniture warehouse that had once been a ballroom where she had gone dancing as a girl. Sometimes she'd ask me to slow down in front of a particular building or corner. She would sit staring into the darkness, saying nothing. As the first hint of sun was creasing the horizon, she suddenly said, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's go now." We drove in silence to the address she had given me. It was a low building. 2 orderlies came out to the cab. As soon as we pulled up, they were solicitous and intent, watching her every move. They were expecting her. I opened the trunk, took out the small suitcase, carried it to the door. The woman was already seated in a wheelchair. "How much do I owe you?" she asked. "No, you don't owe me anything," I said. "Oh, you have to make a living," she answered. "Oh, there are other passengers," I responded. Almost without thinking, I bent over and gave her a hug, and she held on to me tightly. "You gave an old woman a little bit of joy," she said. "Thank you." I squeezed her hand, then walked into the dim morning light. Behind me, a door shut. It was the sound of the closing of a life. I drove aimlessly, lost in thought for the rest of the day. I could hardly talk. What if that woman had gotten in an angry driver earlier that morning, or one who was impatient? What if I had refused to take the run, or had honked once and driven away? On a quick review, I don't think I have done anything more important in all my life. I love that story. Sort of helps me allow life to make up its mind again. You need to remember that story. The times you will want to be anything but kind, because it is so much easier to bear a grudge and hate in return, or get back, or get even. Hate destroys the vessel it's kept in. Revenge never healed a wound. There's one thing all of us have in common: we've been mistreated by somebody. Some of you have known abuse, misunderstanding, and all of this has a way of siphoning your tank of kindness. It can make you hard, and you can get on with hard. You can get along with it. In fact, some will even respect you more because you're tough. But I urge you not to be. Be kind, tender-hearted, forgiving one another. When I'm truly free of revenge and bitterness, there is plenty of room in my heart left for kindness. And not until. Do what's right. Do justice. Love kindness Walk humbly with your God.
Maybe you were born a really nice person with a gentle, sweet personality, and being kind to people comes pretty naturally to you, but I think more of the globe is not that way than is. And the good news is we can change.
It's amazing what one kind word can do. We don't think anything about it, but to the other person, it breathes life into their spirit. Our words have the power to lift people, to help them get through a challenge, to push them into their destinies. When you tell someone, I love you, I'm proud of you, you did great on that project, you're not just being kind, those are healing words. We don't know what people are going through. They may smile on the outside, but on the inside, they're hurting, they're lonely, they're discouraged. Many people have wounds from the past, wounds from a relationship that didn't work out, wounds from people trying to push them down. Just a simple word of encouragement. I believe in you. I'm praying for you. A simple compliment. You look beautiful today. It's no big deal to you, but to them, it's helping heal the wounds. It's lifting their spirits. It's causing them to believe in themselves. Your words can be what keeps them moving forward. And God puts people in our lives on purpose so we can bring healing. Letting people know that you care does more than you imagine. You have the power to put someone on their feet. You have the power to keep them from falling into depression. You have the power to cause them to pursue their dreams. Be free with your compliments. You can think well of your friend all day long, but if you never tell them, they'll never know. God wouldn't have brought it up if He didn't want you to tell them. He wouldn't have put that thought in you if the other person didn't need it. You may not know them. It may not make sense to you, but God knows what He's doing. There's a reason they need your healing. Don't withhold it. Don't try to reason it out. In my early 20s, a young man started coming up to the gym to play basketball with us. He was a loner. He was very unfriendly, very cold. He never talked. Even during the games, he wouldn't interact with us. Most of the guys just ignored him. But something down in here told me to reach out to him and make him feel welcome. I found out that his name was Bo. When he would come into the gym, I would go over and say, "Hey, Bo, it's great to see you today." He never said anything. He just hit his chest twice and walked away. I didn't know what that meant, but I hit my chest twice and walked away. This went on for several years. I saw him 4 or 5 times a week. Well, I stopped playing basketball there, and I hadn't seen Bo in over 20 years. One Sunday, he showed up at church. I saw him afterwards. I thought, where do I know this guy from? He said, "I'm Bo. We used to play basketball together." That's the most I'd ever heard him talk. He went on to tell how he grew up in the projects. At 14, he started living on his own. Nobody wanted him. He never felt loved or accepted. He said, "One of the main reasons I went up to the gym was to hear you say, 'Great to see you today,' because nobody had told me that they were glad to see me." Those simple words, letting him know that I cared, were like life-giving water. Today, Bo is married. He introduced me to his children. He's setting a new standard for his family. What am I saying? Nobody is in your life by accident. Don't ignore what you feel on the inside, that compassion to encourage them, that desire to be their friend. Take time to make them feel loved. It doesn't have to be something big. Just good to see you. I believe in you. I'm praying for you. Just let them know that you care.
I want to focus on that wonderful concept that vital virtue
Okay.
that
Okay,
unfortunately and regrettably is often forgotten,
alrighty then.
the virtue
We're
of
gonna
kindness,
stop that.
being kind. I want you to hear.
Alrighty then. Good morning, and good morning again. Anyway, I hope everything works out. I hope you got something out of that. I get something out of that every time I listen to it. Because we do forget to be kind sometimes. We do. I mean, let's just tell the truth, shame the devil. We do. Okay. That was on the radio. I've been dinged for not turning off the microphone right there. Anyway, good morning to you. All right then. Well, what are we going to talk about that? Well, we can talk about the shutdown if you want to, food stamps. But yesterday, I'm sitting there on the computer thing, and KK Militant put a post up yesterday. KK Militant's a local pastor here in Montgomery, a pastor outside the box. I'll put it to you that way. He's not one of them fire and brimstone pastors, but he's a guy that I think more or less teaches you the lessons rather than not necessarily the hollering and at you and all that kind of stuff. So we don't want to. But anyway, good guy. Now I got him last week because he did something that I didn't like, but that's okay. He didn't really. I don't think he got depressed about it or anything like that. But he put something on, and we all need to think about this. Well, everybody's going around whining about SNAP and all that stuff. I mean, listen. I've seen some people on Facebook and on the. I mean, these are real people doing all kind of crazy things because they haven't got the card. I guess I don't know how it works. I guess the card gets loaded with food stamps or money. Well, good morning to you there, First Sergeant. We appreciate you. Always been a man of support. And him and I disagree on some philosophical thing, but for the most part, I'd have been at E7 if I'd have worked for him in the Corps. I know I would have made I would have either made E7 or else I'd have been put out. But that's okay. I do miss. I wasn't a Marine. I still want to wear one of those. Every time I think about the Marines, I keep thinking about that uniform that I always wanted to wear. It's a long story. You don't even want to hear it anymore. I've been telling everybody for 35 years this story, and most of them don't even believe me. So it's true. But it's true. But anyway, so Militant said, and it made sense to me. How in the world can you have 3, 4, 5, 6 kids, and they can't help buy you groceries? Even if you got 1 or 2, how in the world can we not do that for our parents? If you know your parents are at home and they don't get much Social Security, especially if you're older parents. I mean, people my age, if their parents are alive, they're in their 80s, maybe 90s. So it makes a lot of sense. Why can't we, do our parents just get old and we just forget about them? I mean, is that the way that works? I don't think so. It's not supposed to work that way anyway. So so rather than whining about the government, maybe we need to do what we used to do back in the old days: honor thy mother and thy father, and thy days should be long upon the earth, and buy them some groceries. And they don't really have to be your mom and dad. Okay. You don't have to be. Well, I'm gonna invite him in in the. During my next break here, see if he wants to come on. But and here's another thing: when we say parents, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody that birthed you. But if they're older, if they're in their 70s and 80s and 90s, then okay, well, at least 80s and 90s. I think 70 years old people still doing pretty much for themselves these days. 70 is the new 60, and 60 is the new 50, and 50 is the new 40. But we still don't want to go all the way back to our teens, okay? Because no sense being stupid twice in life. But anyway, yeah, I think I left him a message the other day, as a matter of fact. But I think what he said is absolutely good. So let us think about that today. Let's look for some old folks in your neighborhood who maybe need some groceries, whether or not the food stamp thing is out or not. Okay, it doesn't make any difference. But if you got parents I mean, shame on you if you don't go by and check on them and see that they're doing okay. And any old person, because all of these old people, every last one of them, paid the price, especially down here in the South. They paid the price for some of the things, a lot of the things we're able to do without fear of prejudice and bias. And yeah, they're going individually. Yeah, you may, but they changed the culture down here, and that's white and black people. Okay, so let's not. Okay, yesterday, I was on Hagler show yesterday. I mean, I can't be black folks get mad at me because I'm not mad at all the white people. It just amazes me. I'm not mad at anybody. I try to be kind to everybody. I mean, y'all got some issues down here. Y'all need to y'all need some therapy. I mean, I realize what it used to be, but it's not that. Some of y'all got the white people drain syndrome or something. I don't. So anyway, now let me keep going on. I don't judge anybody by their color, okay? Unless they got like all that stuff all on their face, all them tattoos. Then I talk about you really bad. Then you change your hair. I don't even have a problem with strange hair. I told my son Z and both of them when they were in school, I said, listen, if you want to wear your hair kind of crazy, that's good, but there better not be nothing less than a B on your report card. Okay. I'm just saying, So I ain't mad at you, brother. I ain't mad at anybody. If I'm mad at you, it's because you're a butthole and I don't like you. And hopefully, if you're mad at me, it ain't because I happen to be black. Actually, I'm really brown, but we'll take black for the conversation. Hopefully you're mad at me because you just don't like me, not because of my color. There's a lot of things I can do something about. But my color, that's just not one of them. And I love my dark chocolate brown. I'm gonna change my name to Chocolate Bar. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna change my name, Chocolate Bar. Okay, Your Honor, where's Chocolate Bar at? Oh, here I am, right here. So I'm gonna change my name to that one these days, Chocolate Bar. Okay, CB. Yeah, I'm gonna take the initials CB, Chocolate Bar. I love my chocolate skin. I look just like a Hershey bar. Actually, Hershey bar is a little darker than me. I look like a Snickers bar. Yeah, that's the color my complexion is like a Snickers bar. So call me Snicker. Okay. Anyway, move right along. So we need during this time of stress for a lot of people. If you don't want to go to people's houses and check on them, give some food to the give some food to the pantry, to the food places. A lot of churches going to be hit up real soon here now, because if this thing is not over soon, a lot of folks there won't be no Thanksgiving. And here's another thing too: can we please stop blaming Donald Trump for the SNAP program being limited use right now? Okay. Donald Trump is not the person who allocates the money. That is Congress. That is the Senate and the House of Representatives. The president's job is, once that money is allocated throughout the nation, is to make sure that it is going to where it's supposed to go, okay, and hold those responsible when it doesn't get there, okay? It is not the president, whether it's Biden, Trump, Obama, Bush's, they never allocate money. The money is allocated by Congress. It is right now, it is Congress that is holding this up. And you know what? But it's easy to pick one guy out and put your venom on. But the president has nothing to do. I get so sick of these, especially black folks who just don't like the guy. Well, he gonna make your star. No, you making yourself star. Don't wait home for it. Don't wait home. They still got jobs out here. I mean, I'm at the place yesterday. They hiring people. They hiring people. I'm just not gonna do all them jobs, but they hiring people. You can get a job. Let your relatives help you and things like that. There's $42 million in contingency SNAP fund that could be released by president. And I keep hearing that, but I haven't heard him say that. But because now, if that in fact is true, then yeah, he need to let that go. I mean, he need to put that out there. But I just can't believe that he would not release money that he has the authority to release. But again, I don't know. But I didn't. I thought the problem is Congress has not allocated the money for. So let me double check. And I got to tell you, my friend, $42 million won't do anything. Maybe that's why he ain't released it, because $42 million. What was that? One state? I mean, one state. Somebody, Don said I should call myself X-Lax. It kind of looks like chocolate. I hear you, brother. Okay, now you had to insult me this month. But then again, X-Lax, depending on what your situation is pretty good for you sometimes. And I'm just saying, if you all stuffed up in there, take a little X-Lax and it comes straight on out. Anyway, I'll have to check on that, because even if he released $42 million, I believe Alabama's. Let me see. Let's see how much Alabama need. Alabama's SNA SNAP a ANCE allowance. Let me see what is their thing. I don't know what it calls here. I mean, we got Alabama SNAP allowance amount. Okay. Let me see. Each additional is $218. I didn't know that. Man, SNAP benefit amounts for this year. Okay. Well, I got to put the budget there. That's a lot of people. So if you got one person, you get $300. If you got two people, you get $546. If you got three people, you get $785. If you got four people, you get $994. If you got five people, you get $1,183. If you got six people, you get $1,421. And if you got seven people, somebody ought to stop having sex. $1,571. And each additional person gets $218. Man, that's a lot of food. Maybe it's not a lot of food, though. I don't know. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see. Let me rewrite this. What is the Alabama budget? Okay. Let me see. What is the government? I'll figure that out in a minute. But $40 million is not going to do a whole lot for anybody. I mean, it'll do something for somebody, but that's not a lot of money. Shit. Yeah. Really, I don't know who that is. Anyway, so sometimes, yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. Wait a minute. Hold it. Wait a minute. One person. Okay, if you make. Oh man, I can't believe. So one person, you can get some food stamps. If you make $1,600 a month. Yeah, if you're 130% of the federal poverty level. Listen, I can. But then I wonder how much they give. They don't give you money. They don't give you money. I mean, I've seen people in this city end up getting $10. $10. That's an insult. What the hell am I going to buy with $10? Some rice? I mean, come on, man. Well, you're gonna be a vegetarian that week, because if they're only going to give you food stamps for $10, then forget the meat. It may be time to give up a little meat anyway. Okay, I'm just saying. But I would. I'm gonna see if I can get KK on a little bit here. But we still ought to be able to help. We still ought to be able to help our own parents, our own people. Yeah. Okay. He said, yeah, there are approximately $6 billion in the SNAP contingency reserves appropriated by Congress and currently held by the U.S. Department of Agriculture that could potentially be used. $6 billion. Oh, well, see, y'all ain't told a brother that. Okay, I got to get a producer here, because. So why aren't they now? Here's the problem. Does the president have? Can he do on his sole authority? And there's where we can on his sole authority. Can he release that money? Because if he can release that money, then I'm finna get with everybody else. Well, then why don't you do it? Only for SNAP and nothing else. But why doesn't he do it? I got to call Washington D.C. Let me call Tuberville's office and see if that's absolutely true. Because if that's the case, then the president, I believe, is somewhat. He's somewhat. I mean, he can do something about this. Yes, yeah. There's six. I know it. No, 40 million. 40 million won't do anything. However, $6 billion. Really? Are you sure about that, Greg? They got $6 billion in SNAP contingency reserves appropriated by Congress and currently held by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. That could potentially be okay. So see, now you took me back a little bit. So potentially means that there are, I would imagine, there are guidelines in order to release that money. Natural causes, I don't know, maybe a natural disaster, like what happened in Jamaica the other day, or places like that where people are interned or lost their homes and things like that. Can that money be used because Congress decided we're not going to pass the law? We're not going to pass the bill. So I don't know. I don't know what is the authority. So now if you can find that out for me, then I'll call the White House and tell them to let it go. Okay, I'll tell them to let it go. Yeah, but so I don't really know, because you said potentially that could potentially be used. So when you add that qualifier in there, then that means that he just doesn't have the random authority to release the money, right? I mean, that's true, I guess. So we need to find out a little bit more, okay? And really, I read 42 million ain't gonna do it. That won't do nothing for anybody. I mean, if you start doing that, somebody be headed down the highway right now trying to go in Michigan and steal their money, steal their food stamps. So now I don't think. Nah, call yourself Hershey. I can live with Hershey. Hershey looks good. Now Don says I need to call myself X-Lax. Yeah, it comes in chocolate. Okay, whatever the case may be. You guys kind of mean this morning. Yeah, y'all mean. Yeah, okay. And let's see, Ken says, Glenn says, I'm white. Are you mad at me? Hey, I'm not mad at anybody. If I am mad at you, it ain't because of your color. Okay. It would be hard for me to be a Marine. It wouldn't be hard for me to be a Marine. I went to the Rangers. Believe me, I could have made it to the Marines. Because not only did I have to go through basic training, I had to go through, when I got to Fort Lewis, baby, I had to go through RIP, which is Ranger Indoctrination Program, for a month. Trust me, which is tougher than the Marine Corps thing. Okay. Okay. I'm just telling you. Had to swim when I couldn't swim. Okay. Okay. Had to go through the woods with a rifle. We were so tired walking, they tied our rifle to us because we weren't responsible after going through all these miles walking through the bush and the swamps. So trust me, I could have made it to the Marine Corps without a problem. Nah, not a problem at all. But I did not want to give up my wings. Okay. I had to have a set of airborne wings, baby. It makes the uniform look good. Okay. I'm just telling you, makes the uniform. When I look at all these officers, the ones that don't have real jump wings, I don't consider them real officers anyway. I consider them, no, okay. I don't consider them. If you're not a paratrooper, I heard the general said the other day that most paratroopers without fight 6 regular soldiers. And he's probably right. Okay. Because we are some tough son of a guns, especially when we're young. I don't know about right now, but when we're young, we're tough. That's what makes us a paratrooper, baby. Okay. We take it to the limit. Okay. We don't stop until there's no more pursuit. We don't stop. Okay. So anyway, ask some Rangers who went up that mountain, Mount Tahanaho, in World War II, invasion of Normandy. Yeah, those guys were special greedy people. And look at us now. Look at us now. We got people want to join the army because they don't know what their sex is. They want to be a girl, but they were born a man. Oh, yeah. Okay, I hear it. I'll leave that alone. Anyway, move right along. So what we need to do, people, is get out there and help some folks who don't have a little food, okay? We all got a little extra. I got some spam. That I haven't opened it up yet, okay? I got some spam, and I'm going to give that spam to somebody, okay? Tootsie Roll would fit right in the chocolate city. Okay. He can do whatever he's big enough to do. Okay, he can do whatever the hell he wants. Well, no, he can't do whatever the hell he wants to. Okay, because he's not a king. Okay. Oh, here we go right here. Okay, and this is what I'm thinking. In an emergency disaster situation, I think that's what that's about. I don't think you can just give it out because Congress has decided and they don't want to pass the bill. Okay, I think it's the CR, the continuing resolution. I believe what the whole deal is here. Yeah, but I have to find out because I know I do know. I feel in my own mind that the president, if he wanted to, here's a guy. Here's a guy. Here's a guy. Here's a guy. You didn't go to RIP. Let me see your DD 214. Well, your DD 214 don't have RIP on it. Okay. But yeah, I bet you can't. And Willie don't say you. Okay. Let's say. I bet. What do you say? I bet your. See, you gotta start writing the words so I can read them, brother. I bet you're with Camp. Okay, get Willie Doom to say you jumped from an airplane. Your kids couldn't even tell you. My kids wasn't even born. Matter of fact, I didn't even know how to make kids at 22. I mean, I heard about them, but I didn't. I was kind of slow in that area, so I don't know. They were. So we would have had no kids at 22, but that's okay, brother. I'm see, it used to bother when you insulted me like that, but it don't bother me anymore because I understand you want some wings too. And I think when you went in the Air Force those many decades ago, you couldn't do it. I understand. Okay, I understand. Okay, so no, my kids wasn't even thought about, man. On jump school, I was 21 or something like that. Now, and to be truthfully, I didn't even I'm not afraid to admit this now. I didn't involve myself in grown up situation like that till I was like 22. Yeah, I didn't even get none. And I'm glad of it now, because there are a whole lot of guys around here with a whole bunch of kids laying all over the place, and they can't do nothing with them. But anyway, so much for that. So let me clear up this thing about this this money for SNAP, because I do believe that if the president had the sole authority to let this money go, and I believe he would be even tougher with the Democrats, because he could let the money go and he could feed people. So it must be a national emergency, I would assume, in order to let those things go. Now, somebody out there, find that out for me and let me know if that's true. It's got to be. He just wouldn't sit there. He wouldn't sit there with $6 billion that could feed people. Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas, and not do it if he had the sole authority. I don't believe it would. Now, I could be wrong. So let me call. What's Tuberville's number? I'm going to call somebody's number. Okay. So I'm saying you need to do what? You need Schumer and the hack to land and come on home, whatever that means. And the hack, who's the hack? Okay, I don't know. But anyway, moving right along. So to other things. So I'm gonna see if I can. Let me see if I can find my main man right there who put this on the thing. Let's see if I can get him on the line here, because he got a great idea, and I haven't heard anybody say anything about this, but I do believe that we can do much better by our older citizens than we do. And everybody who's an older citizen wasn't lazy. They just, if you're in your late 70s, early 80s, and 90s, you didn't have the opportunity. You didn't have the opportunity to make a lot of money on Social Security. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if they gave you back in the day, especially down south. I don't even know if they gave you a 3384 if they deducted. Hell, they probably didn't pay you enough to deduct anything out of. Let me see if I can find KK.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again later. Goodbye.
See, see, that's the problem I hate with these new phones. Okay, we always putting people on okay. Okay, now just send him a message so I'm gonna send him because I think he got a great idea. And we need to if anytime we need to come together as people, and we have to show that we can use a little hand here and there, but we're not gonna work deficiency. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Would somebody please tell me why other ethnicities in this country are not out in the streets whining about SNAP like some white people and black folks? Why isn't anybody else out there whining like we are? I mean, really? Why have they not sold their soul to the government troll? I mean, why the poor white people and black folks out in the streets acting crazy over SNAP? Okay, why is that? Can anybody tell me that? I don't hear the Indians out there. I don't hear I don't see anybody out the Koreans out there, the Chinese. Why are we the only people doing this? Okay, you know why? Because we have been spoiled. Okay, we've been spoiled. Now I got to send what's in the studio to talk about your post. Okay, that's what we want to do. Okay, that's what we want to do. Now, okay, I'm gonna get him in there. Okay, I gotta get this message out because my mind can only do one thing at a time. Okay, so if I see somebody come in my door down there, that's what we'll do. It is 7:57 in the morning, so if you got to be there by 8 o'clock, you got 3 minutes by which to arrive. Okay, so anybody else say you should? What do you say? You should limit cake. You should. Yeah. I'm about. Yeah. I just invited him a few minutes ago, so we'll see. It would be hard for me to be a Marine. But look, I would have went through. I would have went through Marine Corps boot camp like a hot knife through soft butter. Okay. See, it's what you're made out of. That's why the same hot water that creates a hard-boiled egg, it's the same hot water that can soften a hard potato. Okay. And one of these days you're gonna figure that out. Okay. It ain't what you it's what you're made out of, not what you're in. Okay. What's up there, Mr. Duke?
How's it going, Mr. Elk?
I'm doing fine.
So, did you say white people out there complaining? I don't understand that one, Kevin.
Well,
aren't they mostly aren't they the ones who mostly voted for Trump or something? Come on now.
You keep blaming Trump. Trump got nothing to do with this.
No, they voted for all of this. They voted for all of it.
No,
Margaret Taylor Greene. I'm gonna go with Margaret Taylor Greene.
They voted for their representatives. They voted for their representatives.
They believe in what he believes in. So Trump said a couple weeks ago now.
So do I.
Hold a minute. He said a couple weeks ago, said, if the Democrats doesn't open back the government, I'm going to take away some of their stuff. And a lot of people don't like the welfare thing. They want that gone. Right. So all of a sudden, it's on the plate now. So talk to me, Elks. What's going on?
You keep blaming Trump. Trump's not.
No, I'm going by what it. No. So you guys don't want us to respond to Trump, but Trump get on the TV and run his mouth about all this stuff. Okay. Then it happens. Then you don't want us to say anything about it. What's up?
Well,
talk to me.
I don't care what you say about it, but I just tell the truth.
I mean, no, what I'm saying, no. Okay, I understand. Yeah, a lot of these people, they go to work, but what I'm saying now, 37% of the whites own it and 26% of the blacks own this stuff. So talk to me.
Well, again, though, there are 200. They're almost 300 million whites in America, so I expect anything they're going to be a preponderance of that. That's not a big.
But they claim the Mexican was on it. Now, come on, which one is it now?
Well,
you didn't include them in your little comment a while ago.
Well, listen,
you just left off the Mexican and everybody else, but the Mexican was the main one they was complaining about. So the Mexicans should be number one on the list.
Wait a minute,
that they're getting that substance.
I haven't seen the Mexicans complain about SNAP. Have you seen it? I haven't seen it.
You know what I'm saying now? I haven't heard that.
Not one.
I haven't heard the language out of their mouth saying they're the ones who in fault.
Right. I'm just
That's
people
eating all the groceries up from everybody else.
Yeah. The only one I see complaining is white people and black folks. I don't see anybody complaining.
But what I'm saying that when they started out about this thing, about the health insurance, they said that
I'm talking about SNAP.
The Mexicans.
I'm talking about SNAP.
I'm tying the two together, basically. So what I'm saying now, they complain that the Mexicans was eating up all the grocery.
Yeah.
SNAP.
Mm-hmm.
They getting all the health care.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they're not on the list anymore. Why you say just the white and the black complain?
That's the only one I see on TV whining.
But who's getting it? Why they're not being talked about right now?
Well, nobody's getting it right now.
Why the Mexicans not being talked about? What I'm asking you, sir.
But no, why aren't they out there whining? Because they're working. They're buying that.
They're scared to say something. They're too scared to say something. Here they be attacked by the damn ICE folks.
Well,
they can't say nothing.
Wait a minute.
You know, like back in the day.
Yeah, that means
you remember back in the day that blacks get caught looking at other people and stuff like that and running their mouth, their house get burned up that night, won't it?
Well, that means that they smart. That's what that means. That means what? Okay. That means
they replaced the Negroes, see.
Yeah.
And so they got to be quiet. Like we used to be quiet, but we started running our mouth a little bit, see, and then left us alone a little bit.
Y'all won't work. So that's why they get.
We won't work for them at $6 a day, will we?
Yeah, your words. Listen, I don't blame you.
We ain't working with no damn $6 a day, Kevin. Come on now. What you gonna buy? What bill you gonna pay with $6 a day?
Well, that's true. You can't make it with $6 a day. But
what bill you gonna pay? Damn light bill regularly going up every month.
Yeah, I think he.
So you gonna convince a Negro to go out there and work for that when he can get food stamps and SNAP and sell it to you, Kevin, for $200?
Well, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
Huh?
I hear you, but I don't think I'd work for that. I don't think I'd work for that kind of money either.
But right now, somebody approach you, Kevin, and say, "I'm gonna give you, Kevin, I give you $500 worth of food stamp for $100." Will you be tempted to give it?
Well, it depends if the light bill need paying.
No, if somebody approach you right now and says, "Sir, I'll give you $500 worth of food stamp for $100."
No, I wouldn't do it.
I've been tempted to.
Yeah, no, I've been offered that many times. I wouldn't do it. I just.
You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it.
Because all you gotta do is get caught one time. Then your butt.
That's what I'm saying.
Then your butt.
I wouldn't do it either. And
then
commercial probably.
Wait, then I've been eating on the government toll in jail. So now I let him keep.
Commercial probably do it though, since he's so intelligent and everything. He probably do it.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate it. Somebody came up with a great idea. Greg's my off-site producer. He says, "Why should the funds be released during a shutdown when federal spending has been suspended?" I'm with you on that one. And that's what I'm thinking. That $6 billion that we're talking about here of SNAP program, it can probably only be released under a national emergency. I just don't think it. I'm not really. I'm not really working for free. I'm trying to make money, like everybody else is. But I'm good. Don, you kind of nosy, brother. I mean, how you know I'm working for free? I mean, I'm working from the house. Yeah, I'm doing all right. You see the lights on in the back of me? The lights are on. Got a couple of bowl of cereal back there. So, some water. I'm good. My needs. Donald Jenkins taught me a word before I get on to something else. I'm not skipping past the comments, man. You can call the show and tell your comments so so people hear you. Or you can leave it on here, but people can read. People can read. I tell you what I'm doing. I'm gonna put the comments on the stage. Okay, now they're the comments right there. Comments are on the stage so everybody can read them. Okay, I don't even have to put them on there. Okay. Oh, you got it. I'm tired of pork chops because I found out my deep fat fryer is a little too small for the pork chops that I be cooking, so I got to get some more. Okay. Oh, you can't call guys your work. My bad, bro. My bad. But I put the comments on the thing right there. Now let's get off SNAP for a second. Let's get on something else. Now, America and people in Montgomery, especially people in Montgomery, has shown a prejudice toward Mr. Watkins, the people in Montgomery, Alabama, and about the job that the mayor was put him in for. Okay. No, I don't do rap, brother. We don't do rap. I can't do rap. No, I can't do it. I'd hurt somebody who told me, "Oh, you want a job playing rap music?" No, I'd hurt you. I'd smack you in the head. No, we don't want that. That's the worst thing. That's worse than drugs to the black community. Rap music. No, I can't handle it. But anyway, let's talk about all the hell that was being raised at Mr. Watkins and the mayor wanting to give. Now, listen, before you say, "Oh, he's sucking up," no, I'm not, because I ain't getting a dime out of this. Okay, never. I could have had a couple of good jobs in a couple of places in this town working for the government, but I didn't want to work for the government. I just didn't want to. Because government is the one place you want to talk about people who are not necessarily qualified to do jobs. Go work for the government, and you'll find plenty of them. Okay, but let me tell you what the deal is. Let me tell you why you guys are a bunch of hypocrites when it comes to the mayor putting Watkins in a job. Just okay. Hey, he made a mistake. Wow, So we don't forget about. Does anybody know why it's hypocritical for all the hell that people raised? Anybody know why it's hypocritical? Do you know why Mr. Don?
Know what?
Why it's hypocritical?
The problem with your show is you got such a delay between the phone calls and what you say, and nobody knows what the heck you're talking about. Is there no way to decrease the delay?
I don't know, but I'll check and see. I don't really know. I know, but what you do, you just turn the thing down before you call.
Well, I called to tell Duke that I think I know more white folks than he does, and I ain't heard one crying yet. Can you tell me where they're crying?
Well, I'm on Facebook.
Oh, they do. I don't do Facebook. You banned me off your Facebook. I can't even look.
I'll make sure I put you.
You gonna let me back on?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you back on because I'm over you now.
That's so nice of you.
Yeah.
Hey, tell Willie Durham. He's an educated man. SNAP is what they consider an appropriated entitlement, which means that the Congress appropriates it. Right now, they try to do a continuing resolution, which is what who set up what they're trying to continue? It was Democrats and Biden that set up what they're trying to continue, the appropriations. And they cut it, and they won't do it.
And they need a majority. Yeah, they need a majority of 60 votes in the House.
Yeah, all they got to do is, one guy said something about Schumer. Well, get Schumer and one other, and they'd be there because, you already got the guy from the independent up there from like Maine or some Connecticut or somewhere. Then you got the guy from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But the only people stopping them from getting it, and I don't know why an intelligent guy like Willie ought to understand the thing that's stopping them from getting it is they don't vote the continuing resolution. Then they could try getting the stuff across, but they want to try to use hardship on people to try to force the Republicans into voting against something that they've already voted against in the big new bill. So I don't think it works like that. And in the past, when they've done this, the Democrats said how awful it would do to do this. It just, who cares? Shut the damn thing down forever. I don't care. I ain't never got a food stamp or an unemployment check in my life, but I'll make it. I don't know about you, but I'll make it.
Yeah, well, it's good. We hope you'll make it, and I haven't ever got a food stamp either. But don't get me wrong. If I need one, I sure take a couple of them. But I won't be whining. I won't be whining on TV about it. It used to be to get food stamps was considered. Food stamps were considered just like a woman who got pregnant and had a bunch of kids outside of wedlock. It was a shameful thing. And when we were coming up, it was a shameful thing. But you got to take what you got to take. Now we don't care if we got 8 kids. We get on Facebook hey, let me tell you how many checks I get right now. I had one woman on Facebook telling me, I got 7 kids and 5 baby daddies, and they all give me a check. So I mean now, and where I'm from, that's called a hoe. I mean, I'm just saying that's a hoe. Okay, I wouldn't get on Facebook tell you I'm a whore. I just wouldn't do that. Okay, so I mean, we have no shame. we don't have no shame. Anything. what has changed our culture? Anyway, let me get back to where I was at here about the mayor's, Mr. Watkins rescinding his name for consideration for the small business position that he was in for. We are a bunch of hypocrites, and does anybody and just now, I'm not a racist guy. I don't really care about color, but I will say one thing: I think a bunch of white folks in Montgomery, the upper echelon, were certainly hypocritical because, well, does anybody know why? Does anybody know why I'm calling people who are calling out Mr. Watkins as a hypocrite? They are hypocrites. They are hypocrites for the 14th oomph. Okay, to infinity. They're hypocrites. Okay. Now me, I'm gonna tell you in a second why. Now me, I said if the elections have consequences, the mayor decided that's who he wanted. And he should have got who he wanted. Now the only thing I had issue with, well, okay, we're gonna bring you in here, but we don't really know what all this stuff. I think $120,000, a little bit too much money initially when you bring somebody in. Okay. Because I see you've been here a couple of years already. You show what you've done and all that stuff. Evidently, he was a businessman in the city of Montgomery for a minute. So I only talked to him once or twice. Okay. Well, he said, Don, it's already appropriated. So if this is not the time for contingency funds, when would it be? Trump could be a hero by releasing the funds. Again, we don't know what the parameters are in order to release the funds. If it was a national emergency, I think there wouldn't be a problem with him releasing those funds. But since it is not it is not a weather emergency, it's not a natural disaster, it's people who can't agree in Congress. I don't know if you would consider that a national emergency, but I shall let me find Tuberville's number here. Let me see if I can call somebody at his office. I think they ought to be working today. And therein lies the problem, because I believe that he would he would have the ability and the willingness to release those funds to feed people. I think he would, at least for what I know about the guy. I mean, I don't really know about him, but his public persona, I think he would. Let me see something right quick here. Okay, now let me see here. Now let me see if I find Tuberville's office right here. Because see, this is interesting. I just don't think that he probably doesn't have the authority. How do you spell Tuberville? T-U-B. Oh, there he is right there. Oh yeah, I got it. Hey, I want y'all to see this right quick. Okay, I just want you to see this. See that right there? I got Tommy's home number. Okay, I just want you to know that. I just want you to know I got the number. That's how much power I got. Okay. So let me call Tommy. Okay, and see where he is. See if he can answer this question for me. Okay. I'm gonna see if anybody in that office up there. I think this is his actual cell number unless he changed it. Okay. Let me see. Tommy Tuberville. Let's see if it calls the great senator.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Okay.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Senator, this is Kevin Elkins, the greatest talk show host ever been in Montgomery, Alabama, besides Don Markwell. Now, we wanted to know, since the president has access to $6 billion of emergency contingency funds for the SNAP program, what has to happen before he has the right to distribute those funds nationwide? Now, if you can call our show, and that number would be 334. What is my number here? 334-521-2963. If you get this message between now and 9 o'clock my time and 10 o'clock your time. Appreciate you very much. Okay. Now that was Tommy's. I forgot I had his cell phone number years ago, so we'll talk to him if he calls us back. Okay. Oh yeah, y'all didn't know I'm the man. I'm everybody's number. They keep telling you on too early in the morning. You on too early in the morning. Okay, well we'll see. We'll see. Okay, yeah, that's his number right there. Yeah. We go way back. Yeah, I call him TB. We need yeah. I mean we call him what do we call him? Yeah, we call him we on a first name basis, but I can't. We got nicknames for each other, and I don't want to. I don't want to tell you what that nickname. Excuse me. We call him TT. Yeah, that's what we call him. Now somebody said the problem is why are 42 million people receiving food stamps? Well, again, listen. There may be many reasons why people receive food stamps. And most people who get food stamps work. But I got to tell you, Alabama Power ain't helping. You seen people's light bill lately? Mine too. You seen people's light bill? If I mean, Alabama Power can take the light bill up without any conversation. We supposed to have a PSC, right? Public Service Commission. We're supposed to have anyway PSC or PSC. But we're supposed to have that to regulate people going up on our prices. Well, we don't have one. Oh, we got somebody over there getting paid to do the job. But so if people keep taking your light bill up, if the lights go up, transportation costs go up, if everything goes up except your check, and you got to pay your light bill, because if you don't pay your light bill, your gas bill, your cable you can do without. And I got to tell you something. It's almost to the point where we need to actually be mandated the internet, because everything you do now is on the internet. So you gotta have internet now. You gotta have lights in the house. And if every bill keeps going up besides your check, yeah, you're gonna need a little help. Yeah. Again, most people who get food stamps worked. So it ain't a whole bunch of people sitting around. I mean, seriously. Do you think people like going in with the EB? Okay, black folks like that sometimes. Okay, they're the only people I see. They get on TV talking about I got my EBD card. Okay, Eat Better Today card, whatever it is. But most people try to live their life kind of quietly. If the government's helping them out, they're thankful for the help, but they don't go around bragging about it. Okay, and we brag. But let me get back to Mayor Reed's selection for this small business department, and why we're such hypocrites. We are hypocrites when it comes to that. No, y'all hypocrites, because I'm not a hypocrite. Okay, especially my conservative friends around here. You guys are hypocrites about this. Local folk. Why am I saying that? Well, who's in the White House right now? Think about it. Who's in the White House right now? Did he not? I didn't say he's guilty. I didn't say whether he did or not. I don't know, but he did get found. He was found guilty of 34 violations of the law. Now, I listen. I know it was political. There's no doubt in my mind, but he still got found guilty of it. And you guys are some of the same people that getting on Stephen Reed about hiring a guy who made a mistake or two. Okay. And so it was a big mistake. That's true. But it's a mistake that we really don't know all the things. When you get into a courtroom, people can turn your words around. They can make seem things the way they are not. So I don't even trust our legal system. I just don't. I don't even know what the word justice means anymore. But we all went out and voted, me too, for Trump. And given the same scenario, I'd vote for him again if he had 85, political attacks against him and political charges. I think that's all that was about. So, if in fact, we were okay with Trump having 34, then aren't you guys being kind of hypocritical against Mr. Watkins, who only got one charge? I'll get the big one. $13 million fine. That's a big deal. But again, I'm not even sure what happened there. Our legal system, they say it's the best in the world. Sometimes I don't believe them. I just don't believe them. If you have money, then it's pretty good for you. But if you broke, or you didn't piss the wrong guy off in the political hierarchy, then your butt is in trouble. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Your butt's in trouble because they don't like you. So now, are you telling me that 85 million people who said we vote for this guy, even if he got 34 felony counts or whatever that he had against them, I didn't care? So are we telling me that on the local level, we can't give people a shot at redemption? Really? I mean, if he wasn't qualified for the thing, then I would understand. But evidently he's qualified. And I got they had a business too. So anyway, so now either we just hypocrites. Not me. I wasn't a hypocrite. I said let the guy have the job, see what he can do. My only problem was don't bring somebody in $120,000. But he had a right. The mayor had a right to put in there whoever he wants to. At least in my fervent opinion. Okay, but we're hypocrites. We're hypocrites. We just are. There are approximately 2,000 active duty military. Okay, and maybe they should. I don't know. If the pay grade don't change in the military. You come in the military as an E1, E2, and you got kids. Used to be you couldn't even be married until you made E4. But they people start complaining about that. And so we sort of let it go. So we let people in without the ability to take care of their family in the military. But we're not going to give you. You don't get an extra stripe because you had more kids. Okay, you don't get that. So yeah, they know they was getting in. They know what the pay is. Okay. Again, the conservatives think that still think that he's a crook and what he'd do with the stolen money. Well, I don't really know if he stole the money or anything like that. Just like Trump, I'm judging same as Judge Trump. It could have been a political, what do they call that? Kangaroo trial. I don't know. But I do know one thing: we can't have it both ways. We can't say, "Well, give our guy a chance," because it was political. But when the mayor decides somebody, and listen, I disagree with the mayor on many things. Okay, but I think we ought to play fair. Okay, I know fair is what you pay to get on the bus. I got that part of it. But we ought to give everybody the same standard. If the president of the United States can be president of the United States, 80 million people vote for him, or 79 million, however many it was, vote for him. Say, hey, that's who we want. We are going to overlook that little indiscretion, if there was one at all. They used a law that had never been used in the state of New York, just to go after one man. It's okay. And I'm pretty sure he ain't the only person that ever did that. Okay. What he did, whatever it was. I know. But we are, the citizen said, well, we are going to ignore the law. And I'm one of those people who say, yeah, we're going to ignore the law because this guy is a guy that don't mind telling it like it is. And hopefully he won't do that anymore. Okay. So that's what we're thinking. So I don't know, So I think we're hypocrites. We're hypocrites in Montgomery. The mayor should have the right, and he should have the right to choose who he wants to, and he falls or rises with his choices. Like Trump. Trump ain't made some of the best side. Trump has not made some of the greatest decisions on cabinet members that I thought he was going to do the second time. I'm still trying to figure out why Kennedy is in charge of anything had to do with vaccinations or anything like that, since he is not a medical doctor. I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, what? And we made Ben Carson one of the preeminent surgeons in the history of America. We made him in charge of HUD. So I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's got anything to do with color or anything like that. But one of the most preeminent surgeons in the history of this country, the guy who did something before nobody else ever did it before, and we're going to make him charge a HUD rather than being the Surgeon General of the United States. I don't know. That's not me. That's not for me to call. I guess they told him what he was going to get before he took the job, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, moving right along to other things. Now, there's one more thing that we're starting up this week. Every year, before I get to anything else here, every year we have what's called Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award. I'm going to try to do it again this year. And what it is, what we do is we find somebody out there. And 2 days before Christmas, we go give them either $500 or $1,000, depending on their situation. Okay, we give them cash because nothing's wrong with getting. Nothing's wrong, and right now we're in bad situation. Nothing's wrong with getting some groceries, but if you get cash, you can pay that light bill that's due. You can buy some groceries that's due. You can do all kinds of things with cash, and nobody asks you where the cash came from. Okay, so here's the question. So every year, and there's a website called there's a Facebook page that's called Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award, and you can get there and you see my name on it and stuff like that. So starting next week, we'll start collecting money. My goal this year is $10,000. We can either give 10 families $1,000, or we can give 20 families $500. Or a family that's in severe need. Okay, light bill, cable, whatever case may be. Here's the deal, though. They don't get to ask for it because they don't know that it's coming. And what we do is we ask you to email me. Normally I take regular mail, but I'm going to do email this year. You can email me the email address or somebody that you want to put in for the award. You got to send me an email, and that email address is, what is my email address here? And you can send, and it don't hurt. You can send me an email. You can send it just as long as I get it, as long as I get the email by the end of November. Okay, by the end of November. And let me see what is the email address we're going to use. Okay, we're going to use. Okay, let me see. Logic. Okay, LOJIC. Okay, LOJIC 2025 at Gmail. LOJIC. Okay, 2025 at Gmail. LOJIC 2025 at Gmail. And all I need to know about these people, I need to know their name, a phone number where we can reach them if they get something. But they won't know anything about this. Nobody can call us and ask us for anything. You have to. Well, I say us. I mean me. And I get somebody to help me on that day. But so I'm asking you guys to give a little money this year. Reach down your little. I know everybody's going to be asking you. Everybody's going to be asking you to do. I realize that's fine. I just give me a little bit, okay? Because I put money in it too. Okay, I mean it would be hypocritical to ask everybody else to give and don't give anything yourself. That's crazy. But anyway, so you send us an email, and here's the person. The person has to live within the county of Montgomery. Okay. Because we just don't have enough money to go all over the world to do this. Okay. So they have to live in Montgomery since actually Prattville okay. Well, the surrounding area. Okay. We'll do that. Okay. We're not going to Tuskegee. Tuskegee too far. So Wetumpka, Millbrook, Prattville, and Montgomery. That's the only place we're going. We're not going to Selma and places like that. So the deal is you put them in for the award. Okay. I need to know their name, their address, a phone where they can be reached, or a phone where you can be reached, and your name has to be on the submission. We have to know who you are. We need to know who, and what that does, that stops me from having to go all around town and investigate people. You should know these people. And all we ask is that they be a person. You cannot tell them that you put them in for it. You cannot tell them, because if you tell them and we don't get the money, that's a disappointment twice. Okay, and we don't get enough money. I mean, if we get any money, the money's going to where we say it's going. But sometimes you get some. Sometimes last year, this time, they were getting ready to terminate my job at the radio station, so I wasn't able to really do it last year. They didn't let me know they was going to do it though. They didn't let me know. But I'm grateful for the fact that I worked there for a long time, and it was great. It was a great job, and now I got this job, and so we're going to try to do the same thing. Okay, so if you know someone, and I just need it by the end of November. If you know someone, and you need to send me, I need their name, your name. You, as a person who we're going to call you a sponsor. The sponsor name and your name. Well, that would be you. Your name, their name, and you just let us know how we can reach out to you and how we can reach out to them, because we will call you first. Okay. And somewhere between the 21st, between the 19th and the 21st of December, we will be out there riding around giving the money from the Decisions, podcast people, audience. Okay. We appreciate you guys. We do that. So now, I don't really have an address for you guys to send the money to yet. Now, you can always send it to my Cash App thing, and make sure when you send it on Cash App, okay, make sure you send it on Cash App. You send it and you put on there what it's for, okay? Because I don't want to think I just got the money from somebody who loved me, okay? So put it on there what it's for, and we will make sure that it goes in the pot. And there's an account downtown. I've been gone a year, and I can't. Yes, you can be white and get it too. Yes, I have to. As a matter of fact, I personally make sure that everybody is represented on both sides of the color spectrum. Okay, yeah, we do too. As a matter of fact, yeah, I personally make sure that happens. Because I knew there were gonna be people like you out there that ask that question. Okay, and if you want to listen, brother, I hear you. You listen. This ain't mandatory giving. this is just giving if you want to. Okay, but you can Cash App me, or you can send the money. Let me get my PO box. Or you can take the money to the bank itself. And Service. Oh yeah, and you can go to Service First Bank, and you can deposit money, and it's called Helping Hands, and it's in both our names, Helping Hand and Kevin Elkins in that bank. Okay. And before you ask me, I ain't never stole a dime. I make sure all the money gets to where it has to go, to the people who you give it for. Okay. And we film it. We film it often, but there's some people who don't want to be filmed. What, you're gonna put me in the news that I'm broke? No, we ain't gonna do that to you. We're just gonna make sure you sign this piece of paper right here. Okay. So anyway, so that's what we do. And I have a Cash App, and the Cash App is what's my Cash App number? If you want to send it that way, I don't know any. I got a Vimo thing too. I think it's called a Vimo. Where's my thing in here? I got a Cash App thing up here someplace. But anyway, it's my Cash App address is my phone number, which is 334-241-9998. You can look me up on Cash App on that number. Okay. So, and we'll be going through this 1,500 times before the end date of getting that. Okay. So that's what we're doing this year. And we're starting that early because everybody's going to be begging this year because everybody needs something. Everybody needs something. Me too. But I'm not as bad. I thank God that I am not as bad off as a whole lot of people I know. I mean, last year when they laid people off at the radio station, I mean, that was their only job. And, right like 3 weeks before Christmas, they laid people off. And I said, wow, me, I didn't suffer too bad. I suffered a little bit though. I had to park my car in a couple of streets over till I made sure I had the car note. I wouldn't have bought that new car again if I knew I wasn't going to have a job. But I did, so it is what it is. We live by the decisions in life that we make. Okay. So our message today was be kind. So today, you probably want to go. I don't know what I had a couple of preachers probably coming on, but they didn't show. And then I sent I sent KK Militant because I thought he made a great idea. It's up to us sometimes to make sure our people eat. Okay. So rather than depending on the government, maybe they should be able to depend on us as their relatives. Okay, and things of that nature. All right. Now I won't be here tomorrow because I don't work on Fridays, but I will work the Friday of the last week of the Helping Hands Good Neighbor. There's also a Facebook page called Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award. And so you can go there and check that out. And I think we got some videos and things on it, some of the things we have done. And so it'll be good. It'll be nice. And believe me, you will feel so good about yourself. Okay, you will feel so good about yourself. It's kind of like Hope Inspired Ministry, the organization I'm a part of. You know, we ask people to come speak to these people over there, not because what it does for them, it does something for you. When you can sort of help people, you know, get back on their feet, it does wonderful things for you. Okay, wonderful thing. Oh, well, somebody said you don't have to be a medical doctor. You talking about what's in yeah, but how are you going to tell us about medical issues if you're not a doctor or a professional or have a PhD in herbology or something like that? How are you going to tell us? I mean, how's he going? He's not an expert on vaccines. I mean, I would, I would, yeah, I mean, I'm skeptical of all these vaccines. Okay. And I'm skeptical of all the vaccines, but I took it because at that particular time, there was nothing on the horizon that was helping people. And a lot of people were dying. And even though I know it's coming one day, I was trying to stave it off just a little bit, by not getting killed by COVID. So I took it. But now I'm not taking it anymore because I got some friends. Mickey McDermott took it. My lawyer friend that comes with me sometimes, he became very deadly ill from it. Some other people died from it. So again, I'm not saying that everybody should take it and it works on everything. But I don't think that Kennedy, I don't think Kennedy is the guy to be in that office to tell me what to not to take one or not. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have a medical degree. He doesn't have a medical background. I mean, he has an opinionated background. And I would imagine he's done some research. But research is only as good as the guy who's the research, who gave it to us. You know, I don't know. So that's the only thing about him. But and it's not unusual, Cleo, it's not unusual for people in the military to be on food stamps. I mean, you're an E3 or E2 or E1 and you join the military because you have many opportunities out there. It's not unusual. They're not going to raise your pay scale because you come in with kids. Okay, I don't even know how many kids you can have now. By the time you go in the military. Let me ask Siri this question right quick. Hey Siri, how many kids can you have to join the military and still join the military? Well, come on, man. Let me know.
The U.S. military generally allows enlistment for individuals with up to dependents, including children. However, each branch has specific policies, and exceeding this number may require a waiver. It's advisable to consult with a recruiter for detailed information.
Okay.
ChatGPT.
I appreciate it.
Info from
I tell you, this is my producer right here. Exactly. So the military said you can have 2 kids and 2 kids to join, but if you're an E1 or an E2, that's still too many. That's still too many. What's going on, Pastor Knight?
Hanging in there, Doc. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I was trying to get your counterpart on. He ain't called me back yet, KK, and because we were talking about the post he made about people should help their parents and things of that nature during this temporary crisis of groceries.
Well, they should. I saw the post. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
No.
I mean the dollar amount will be the only thing will be up for debate. If you could do better, do better. If not, then do the best you can. But he's right. I mean, I saw nothing wrong on that post.
Yeah, I didn't either. Some people were whining, but that's okay. They're gonna. Well, I ain't gonna do. I mean, that's no matter what your relationship is with your parents. No matter what your relationship is, they're still your parents. They're still your mama and
I
your
agree.
daddy. Yeah. Where's
I
your
agree.
daddy? Is your dad still alive?
Of course he is. Yes, sir.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, my father lives up in Maryland. When he retired out of the FBI, he just stayed up there. He didn't, my father's former, he was military, got out the military, went into the FBI academy. He retired as a federal agent, and he likes it up there. All his kids are grown. His grandkids are almost all grown. Yeah,
it's just too cold up there, bro.
You ain't never lying. We lived in New York for a while. We were up there at Fort Stewart, which was about 10 minutes away from West Point. Look, that New York, Massachusetts, we were at Hanscom Air Force Base. Those were real winters. What we have here, they're cold, but those are not real winters.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question since you're a good prayer. Now, what the denomination that you are is Baptist, right?
Yes, sir.
So why Baptist as opposed to anybody else?
I mean, really, we all worship the same God. It's just really a name for the most part. Different things, different churches do. You have different Baptists. You have missionary. You have primitive Baptists. You have Southern Baptists. You have Memorial Baptists. I mean, you got the denomination the denomination is just our belief, what certain things that we believe. But at the end of the day, we all preach about the same God.
Is it after John the Baptist? Is that who the church is named after? John the Baptist?
Yes, sir. John the Baptist is the one that baptized Jesus, for the most part, to my understanding. Don't take it. Take it with a grain of salt.
Why did Jesus need baptizing?
He gave us Christ, got to keep in mind, when Christ came to give us the example to live by.
Okay.
Ever since sin entered the world, man had a complete disconnect from God. So keep in mind, everything that Christ did was to give us an example on things to live by. And the baptism, let me explain what the baptism is. It's just a simple sign of submission that you believe that Jesus was the Son of God and he rose from the dead. That's the reenactment of the baptism.
Okay. So he gave it to us as an example of what to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. A lot of folks in the South hold the Bible dear, and that's all some of them do, just holding it. With this thing with Mr. Watkins, he made a mistake in his earlier life, and the Bible doesn't tell us how many times we should forgive, does it?
Yes, it does. It says 70 times 70 times 70, right?
Right. So why is it that human beings, when they're on the other side of forgiveness, all of a sudden they lose their mind, and we don't want to give people a second chance?
Well, the world is extremely hypocritical. We have a president that is sitting in office with 91 felonies, 34 convictions, and was sued twice for sexual assault. And America forgave him. That's how he was able to become the 25th president.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
You mean to tell me you guys had a problem with a guy that had one felony and apparently did his time or whatever? I don't know.
Right.
But he was forgiven. It's just a bit hypocritical to me.
It is. It certainly is. Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what God do you serve? Because the God that we serve is a God of second, third, fourth, fifth chances. There's nobody walking the earth that is perfect. There's nobody. So and you know what the difference between a convicted felon, and me and you, Kevin?
I didn't get caught.
Exactly.
When I was doing stupid
Even
things.
with all of your listeners, I know you got people that are listening to the show right now that have claimed other kids on income tax. That's a felony. You got folks that have bought food stamps.
That's a felony?
Yes, sir. That's a felony. You're lying to the government.
Oh, Lord, we got a lot of felons walking around here. Then.
Okay, you got people that are buying food stamps. That's a crime.
But they ain't buying them right now.
No. If they were to disperse them on the first, you got some people that still go buy them. You got people that are embezzling money, robbing companies, stealing from companies, stealing from each other. In other words, nobody is perfect. From the pulpit to the back door, from the White House to the outhouse, nobody is perfect.
That's true. Yeah, if you don't say nothing else today, that is absolutely true.
Yes.
Anyway, so I asked the question the other day, and maybe you can answer me. What has happened to us now? Last time I checked, I think you disagreed with me the other day. We got 600 churches last time it was counted in Montgomery, Alabama.
It's not no 600 churches, but keep going.
Well, again, I mean, I think you're wrong, but we did a count, and it was 600 churches.
You couldn't.
Well, yeah, and somebody said we need more. We need more than that. Okay, so
I don't think we have 6. But what's your question?
Well, the question is, are we believing less as people of this nation than we used to?
No.
You don't think so?
You know what? You're looking at the church buildings and you're expecting everybody to be able to do the same job. Let me put something. I was telling one of my sons in the ministry something the other day. And he said, you know what, Pastor, I never thought about that.
Let me hold on a second. Don, you got to turn down your stuff when you call.
I got it down.
So I guess Don wants to talk to you there.
Hey, Don.
Good morning, Willie.
Hey, sir.
I can't hear him. Is he listening?
Yeah, he said, hey.
I appreciated the guy on with you the other day. He sounded like he finally got some common sense about taking care of your own prior to taking care of everybody else. But you need to if you're gonna, what's that the Bible says talking about bearing false witness? If you're gonna get up there and say Trump was sued for sexual assault, you should get that right. He wasn't sued for sexual assault.
What was it?
2. What? List a couple of those felonies you keep bringing up, and what's the status of those felonies right now?
The question was, the statement that was made was about the guy that was being hired.
Did Cat get his tongue or what?
No, Cat ain't got nothing. Just I'm talking to you. Clearly, your phone. You got a bad phone.
I can't hear him, so I guess I'll turn it off. But that's what you're doing is bearing false witness. You're ignorant to what you're saying about Trump. You ought to at least get it straight.
Okay.
Let me catch Don. First and foremost, Trump was charged with 91 felonies. There's no getting over that. We're not going to go around and try to weigh and see which is which. There's nothing false about that. He was convicted on 34. He was sued for sexual misconduct, sexual assault, sexual. He was sued for a sexual charge, not one time, but 2 times. Y'all cannot hide that. Our president is a convicted felon. That's just what it is. Now, back to what I was.
Wait, before you say anything. They said Jesus Christ did things too. We know he didn't.
Once again, Christ is the only one that walked the earth that was sinless. I ain't gonna go through that.
I'm just saying, if they can lie on Jesus, they can lie on Trump.
Yeah, but we all know that's a lie. But what they did to Trump was. We're talking about with Trump or Jesus.
With Trump, you wasn't there on 91. I mean, you wasn't there. Women have been lying. Who's the guy?
I'm not here. Listen, I'm not sent here to defend him. We see the same thing. He was charged with 91, convicted on 34. You're not a lawyer, and neither am I. Just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane and be safe. Now, I was telling my son in the ministry. You look at the fact that you have all these churches and you have preachers, you got believers. You guys have made a mistake. you cannot give a mission to a person that God did not call. You're expecting certain things out of certain people because of a name or a title, but you cannot expect a belief. You have a lot of wolves in sheep clothing. You cannot expect the person that the Lord did not call to do the work of the Lord. If that's the case, then a lot of church members, not just pastors, a lot of church members should be flooding their very own communities and families, trying to get their family members to turn from their ways. Would you agree?
Sure. Yeah.
So, and what happens, I listen to you many a times and some of your callers, oh, well, the preachers, you know what? Some of them preachers the Lord ain't called. So you're expecting something.
But how do we know? But how do we know that?
You can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. I mean, some of the stuff is just pretty much you could try the spirit by the spirit. You look at what a person do, not what they say. You guys are very, very, very naive to certain things. If the Lord called you, He's going to equip you to do what needs to be done. And if we were to be honest with ourselves, it's just a lot of people that were not called; they just went. And a part of just going, it's not in your heart to do ministry. And if it's not in your heart to do ministry, you're not going to do ministry.
Okay. Good morning. You got to turn that down.
Hello?
Yes.
I wanted to get this in before you lose your time. If you would go to Miss Marsha Johnson, I sent it to you so you didn't read it. So I'll go to her page. She's saying that if you are a SNAP recipient in Montgomery, Targetville, Elmo, Lowndes, and Bullock counties, you can reach out to 211. If not, be patient. And there are churches. There are about 40 churches that she has listed on her page. Churches that are doing things in the community about the food bank that you can receive food assistance. And if you go to her page, you also see the flyer where they have the time and dates that they will be open to assist you. Since you didn't do it, I'll call you.
Well, my bad. If you wait a minute. Do me again. I get a lot of things while I'm doing this. If you send it to my messenger, I'll put it on my Facebook page too.
I did. I sent it not only to your messenger, but I think I sent it to your both the blue and the green.
Okay, I did. Yeah, I'm a.
I know you can't do many things at one time, but
I'm gonna get chewing bubble gum and walking at the same time is a hard task.
Okay, but go to her page, and she's the only council person I see that has actually listed places that you can go.
All right, that's okay. Thank you. So, Marsha Johnson has put a paper out. Well, I'll put it on my Facebook page when I get out of here. And people can go to. So evidently, there's some churches and some resources that are going to be available to people if you don't get your card anytime soon. And we'll put it on the thing. Is your church doing anything? Well, you always.
Sir. We have a food bank ministry set up that we're distributing out not only to the neighborhood, but I'm linked up with the neighborhood association president, and I have a couple of churches that I'm working with as well.
Okay. I'm not trying to be. Can a brother pick up a chicken?
Yeah, if a brother can get there, get it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, then. I was just joking about the chicken, but since you got to.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. Okay. Where your church located?
1527 Ferguson Street, right there in Newtown. There's North Montgomery Baptist Church.
North Montgomery Baptist Church. But there is a time to come and time not to come. So how do they find? You got a website that they can look?
Well, as a matter of fact, someone will be there at 10:30 today. I know they're gonna pretty much be open from 10:30 until I'm thinking maybe about 1:30.
Okay.
And then again on Saturday. Okay. They'll be there this weekend. Okay. And like I said, see how things go. Right. And probably be back open again Sunday immediately following service.
And I would assume that if somebody wanted to bring something to the church, what do you need?
Matter of fact, I've had a couple of people that inbox me about just that, bringing something to the church. Still around those hours for right now until we kind of iron some things out.
Okay. What do you need the most of?
Right now, as crazy as it sounds, blankets.
To eat?
No, you asked what I need the most of, blankets, but perishables, things that like little snacks that can be given out like to the homeless and stuff like that.
A tuna or something like that, canned meat.
Canned tuna, look like I say, little perishables. Easy to get to perishables.
Okay. So that
keep in mind, everybody, like if I want it to be the way it's set, is that one of the bags that we have, some of the stuff, items that we have in the bag, can be given to the homeless. We know they don't have a stove. We know they don't have, microwaves, so things they can rip open and kind of eat.
Right.
They help them sustain themselves for right then.
Okay. How about beets? You like beets?
I don't eat beets, but I won't stop you from eating them.
We used to go to the food bank, right? And they always give us beets. I said, listen, I'd rather you don't give me none. So I'm not going to eat no beets by themselves.
But you know what, Kevin? When your back and your stomach are meeting, you will eat almost anything.
Not a beet, brother. A beet and okra. Those are the two things I'm not going to eat.
God, you done lost your mind. I would eat okras all day long, fried or boiled.
It's slimy.
It's good.
Well, I don't know. and so bad down here, people eating dirt. I mean, I don't get it. We eating dirt and nasty okra.
Well, nobody dirt, but I don't mind okra. You can give me a plate of okra all day long. I will be good.
You really like it?
Yeah.
It's slimy.
It's good.
Okay, right on. Okay, I'm gonna let you do that. Anyway, North Montgomery Baptist Church. It was located on.
It's on Ferguson Street, 1527 Ferguson Street, right there in Newtown.
Okay. Do you have an email address where people can reach out to you, or a phone to the church or something?
You can reach out to me, WillieDK36116@yahoo.com. You can also hit me on my Facebook page. It's under my nickname, Tony Knight. You can also hit the church page, North Montgomery Baptist Church. They do have a church page. You can hit it up as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Pastor Knight. I appreciate you.
Let me say, I want to say something else before you get me up out of here.
Yeah.
I want to encourage, because I've been looking and I've been seeing a lot of videos where our people are pretty much bragging about running up in these stores and stealing.
I know. I saw some. Yeah.
I highly encourage that you guys do not run up in these people's stores stealing. Thanksgiving is just a time to give thanks. Nowhere does it say you have to eat turkey on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Once again, I highly discourage that anybody, regardless of your race, your sex, regardless of whatever, do not run up in these people's stores stealing.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't afford it, it's okay. You will survive.
Yeah.
And that's to everybody. We got to speak against this foolishness. When we see it, it is our job to speak against it. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say.
Because somebody going to get shot or hurt, and then we're going to swear up and down they were just a good kid trying to eat. Well, that's the wrong way to try to eat. Okay.
Please don't do this. Please don't do it.
And
nobody's making you do it.
Yeah.
If you are in that desperate need of some food, reach out to me.
Absolutely.
Reach out to me.
Yeah.
Do not go in these stores stealing.
Yeah, if you need a bag of groceries, y'all, you can call me too. I my number's on the screen. I mean, don't go to jail, and worse than that, don't die.
Right. It is not worth it. And this just goes to show the mindset of people that have gotten used to something that was taken away. It reminds me of a child when you take their favorite toy away and they throw a temper tantrum. I'm watching a lot of adults throw temper tantrums. For the love of God, please don't you guys run up in their stores stealing anything.
Yeah, because if not, the next thing you hear is this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying where it is. That's the next word you're going to, if you hear it.
Yeah.
If you can hear it.
You're worth more than a dead bird.
And a bag of groceries. Yeah.
Yeah. You're worth more than that.
Thank you, Pastor Knight. We always appreciate you coming on.
You're welcome.
Where's that other young man that you sent to when I was over at Praise? What's his name? Didn't you have
which one?
I don't know who it is. He came to the studio when I said Praise 96.
Oh! You're talking about one of my associates, Minister Renshaw. He's probably tuning in, watching. If not watching, he's probably at work. Okay. But he's out there on the battlefield. Shout out to my associate ministers, Minister Greg Renshaw, Robert Smith, Judge Smith, and to our sons in the ministry, Alfred Cade, Arthur Smith, Johnny Bryan. Shout out to all of them, from the pastor, love you to from the moon and back.
Can I get a deacon job over there?
You should. Who, you? Oh, man.
Okay, never mind. I'll come in and sit a while and we'll see if I.
There's about 11 of them, but
y'all got enough already. Yeah, you got enough.
I don't know, Kevin. You might lay pressure up. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I better stay where I am. All right. Anyway, thank you for coming on, and we'll do this more often.
Yes, sir.
In the quiet of the morning.
Well, my time is up. I thank you for yours. I know who said that first. The guy who used to call the Auburn games. He died, unfortunately, way before his time. What was his name? Because he used to come on the radio station, even Montgomery, once in a while when he was here. Anyway, what was the guy's name? He's called Auburn Game. Anyway, I'll think of it. I'll think of it later on. What was that guy's name? You see, that's why I know people don't forget about me already being on the radio, because he was on the radio forever. And I can't even think of his name right now. But if I hear it, I know it. Anyway, so don't forget, Helping Hands, Good Neighbor Award. Get those emails sent to me at Logic. Okay, LOJIC at Gmail. Well, LOJIC 2025 at gmail.com. And if you want to help us out, you can always send us a cash out to the phone number on the screen right there, 334-241-9998. Make sure you put Helping Hands in the note part of it. Anyway, well, listen, time's up. Won't be here tomorrow. I'll be out there looking for a real job tomorrow, I think. Anyway, I'm trying to. My experience yesterday did not encourage me. But anyway, have a great day, everybody. And remember, it is not the falling down that gives you the strength. It is getting up each and every time you do. So, keep getting up. Keep getting up. We'll be back after this sun goes. Well, I'll be gone after this sun goes off. You guys have a great day. Oh, it ain't what happens to you in life. It's what you do about it. See you later. Have a great day.
Thankful for life and the love we share. Thank you, Lord, for the journey we take, for the dreams